Am I live? I didn't even know I was live. I'm looking at my phone, getting ready to hit go live, and I was like, wait a minute, in the stream, that means I'm live. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here tonight. I wasn't quite ready to be on that quickly, but hey, welcome. So we are going to design a few different shirts. They're going to be very, very similar. It's going to be the same basic type of design, but we're going to do 2 or 3 different ones. And it's getting really close to Father's Day, so I probably should have done this a week or two ago, but you could use this type of design really for anything. Matter of fact, I used what I'm going to do tonight to make a sign for my house. It says Blessed Home, I think. Something like that. I did it on a YouTube video years ago. So anyway, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me start by saying hello. And then we have a few things to talk about. And then we'll get started. So, hey Karen, welcome. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everything so-so? Anyway, hey Karen, welcome. And Rosalind, welcome. Hey Marta. Hey DB. Welcome in. Hey Dems. Dems can't wait to see what you found today. Hey Jennifer. Hey Addie. Hi Sharon. Welcome in. Hey Nicole. Hey Willie Rosamond, welcome. Hey CC. Hey CC Sassy CC. One. Welcome. I knew there was something at the end of that. Hey Fern, welcome. And Cheryl, welcome. Hey Alice, thanks for being here, welcome. And Visionary Creation, thank you. Hey Angel B, welcome. And Terry Hunt, welcome. Thanks for being here. And Robin, thank you for being here. Hey, Stacy. And Joyce, welcome. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Craft Therapy. Nicole. Let's see. Hey, Martha. And Michelle. So many in here. Hey, Beverly, welcome. So many people that are going to be with us again Saturday. Hey, Dorika, welcome. And Boyd Apparel. Hey, Faye. All right, I'm going to start scrolling by. Hey, Nikki. Hopefully I don't miss anyone. Hey, Pinky. Welcome. Pink's one of my favorite colors. As a matter of fact, we need to talk about the shirt also. I want to go over that. Hey, Sandra. All right, I think I'm at the bottom of the chat. So let me click on one to get that off and then click on it again. So there's a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about, first of all, this has been bothering me for so long. Okay, I eat a lot of ham sandwiches almost every day for lunch. And I take these lids off and then I clean the gooey stuff off the top and then I set them aside not knowing what to use these for. So I need some creative people to let me know. And I may ask this a few times through the live because there will be, people will come and people will go. So there will be, some different people in here later. What would you use these to store? I want to be able to decorate them somehow, make them cute, and then store them because I'm tired of either setting them in my recycling forever and I really don't like throwing them away. So, have you guys seen these? You eat lunch meat? Get that over there. So, what would you store in that? It's about 6 inches long. And Kristen, I know Kristen would have ideas if she were in here. When I see her come in later, if she comes in, I'll ask again. 7.5 inches long, 5.5 inches wide, storage space of 2.5 inches. What should we be storing in these? let me know. Let's put it back there for now. Hey, Jennifer Hancock. Hey, Port G Town. Also, if you are joining us, let me talk when I'm like looking at the camera so you can hear me. If you're joining us Saturday at 5 p.m. Central Time to put these things together, I will be sending out one last email. So everyone who emailed me that I know of, I've sent an email back with the invitation in it. But either tonight or tomorrow, hey, Cindy. All right, I'm so glad you could be here even for a little bit. If you are joining the Zoom, if you have your things done and you want to join the Zoom and you haven't emailed me yet, go ahead and email me. And then either tonight or tomorrow, I'll just do one large email with a final link. And then you don't register anything. You just need that link and you come in at 5 o'clock on Saturday Central Time. And so I still need to cut these down. The way we would like to do it, let me see if I'm missing anybody. The way we would like to do it is, okay, I make wipes out of paper towels and alcohol water. Oh, that's smart. That is a good idea. That is a really good idea. Fabric scraps. Excellent. Fern, you didn't do it. Okay. Another fabric scraps. Or that might have been. Okay, I just missed it the first time. Hey, Donzel, welcome. Oh, bobbins. Nicole, I like that idea because I have boxes of bobbins. And I could make, you know, for current bobbins, I could have one over at my multi-needle, one at my single needle, and I could decorate it, put bobbins, and just dump my bobbins in there. That's a good idea. That might be the winner chicken dinner. Okay, so I still need to cut these down. If you did these, you have the instructions, and they're going to tell us to cut them down. I don't remember if it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch so that we can sew them together. I have trimmed away all the batting and the stabilizer. So now I just need to get out a cutting square and trim them down to what it says to do. So if everybody can have them cut down by the time we get started, that would be wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so anyway, that's Saturday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Okay. Hey, Jessie. I can't talk. Hi, Marlies. Okay, here a little bit. I also want to show, so the design that I have on my shirt, Sweet and Sassy, this is a design that I do in a video in Sublimation Camp. So if you haven't got your free ticket yet, I do have a link below for that. And so the template is separate from the print file. So this is if you want to do sublimation and bling. So a lot of people actually like to wear light colored shirts or white shirts, but white shirts, a lot of rhinestone colors just don't look all that great on white shirts. And so one thing that you can do is do sublimation and bling. And so here after a while, I want to show you, if you're part of Sublimation Camp, the file that they wanted was a PNG. Well, you can't change the colors on a PNG. So I'm also going to have on my website. So in Sublimation Camp, there's a link to everybody's more information page. So I'm going to put the SVG version for anyone that wants to change colors of the print file so that they can print colors that match the rhinestones. Okay, so I'm going to show you in a little bit kind of how you work with this file also. Hey, Patrice, welcome. Hey, Coretta, welcome in. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Hey, Bobby. Okay, so what I was planning on doing tonight was making a Father's Day shirt. And it's going to be a simple shirt because we're using HTV. And with HTV, you know, HTV is different than sublimation, different than DTF. With sublimation and DTF, you can have pictures, photographs. You can have something that has thousands of colors in it, different shades of colors, gradient colors, skin tone with highlights and all that stuff. You can have that in sublimation or DTF. with heat transfer vinyl, also known as HTV, you are doing solid colors, pieces of solid colors. And so we're going to make a design, cut it out, and press it on a shirt. Hey, Marlene. But we're going to make a few designs, and I'm going to ask for a little bit of help on maybe some wording to use. And so I'm going to do this. I'll do one in Cricut, and I'll do one in Silhouette Studio. Now, I'm going to cut both of them on my Cricut because that's what I use to cut HTV. But I want to show how to design these in Cricut and in Silhouette Studio. So, oh, thank you, Sharon. She said, need more thumbs up. So let me get the chat on my phone so that I'll be able to see comments, because I'm going to be sharing my screen here in just a minute. Okay. All righty. So, okay, so let's see. Addie says you can cover those with fabric or Dollar Tree wallpaper sheets for supplies. That would be cute to cover it with fabric. Or their wallpaper sheets. That'd be real cute. Maybe I'll do that for my bobbin case that I'm going to make, or my bobbin box. We'll call it my bobbin box. Okay. Alrighty. So let me go ahead and share the screen. And we should be going into the tunnel. Let me go ahead and get, hey Cookie Cook, welcome. All right, so the first one that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do it in Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to do one shirt that a father would wear. I'm going to do one shirt that a child would wear to celebrate Father's Day. And so let's just start with the child shirt first. And so let's go into Cricut. And I don't use Cricut to design hardly ever. So, but I did play around in it today so that I kind of know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to say new project. Hey, Starla. Hey, Rougie. Hope you and Gina are doing okay. Okay, so I'm going to say that I just want to start with a blank canvas. I mean, you could go with a men's shirt so that you can see sizing and all that. I just start with a blank canvas. And then I'm going to say start designing. And ask me, are you ready to design from scratch? Yes, that's why I went with the blank canvas. So we're going to click on start designing. Okay, so on this one, we're going to start with the word dad. You could do dad, father. Maybe Papa is the father figure. Mama. It could be, you know, the everything. Hey, Bonded Creations. Hey, Evelyn. So, but we're going to do dad. So I'm going to click right here on this text tool. And then, I don't know why, but I like to move this over. All right, let's double click in there. And I'm going to type in caps D, A, D. So all I did was I typed the D, I hit the return key, I typed the A, I hit the return key, and I typed another D. Hey, Linda Tolbert. And now I want to pick a different font. So with what I'm doing tonight, I want the word dad to be just very, very plain, because the word that I put with it is going to be script. And so I like to pair a script font with a very plain font. And my favorite for very plain fonts, let's go up to the, well, let me undo that in case you didn't see that. If you're new to Cricut, this is the font right here. That's the font that it defaulted to. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to say not a Cricut font because I don't have Cricut access. I've never had Cricut access. I don't like paying, you know, monthly things. So I'm going to go over to system. What this means is I'll have access to the fonts that I have on my computer. So let's click on system. and then you see them here, or if you know the name of it, you can just type the name here. Well, I'm going to do Arial Black, so let's just type Arial. Oh, why isn't Arial Black there? Why? Why? It's right here. So we'll just go down here. I'll click on it, and it changed my font to Arial Black. Now for this shirt, and I'm very small over here, but for the shirt, this would be for a kid's shirt, and this is not a kid's shirt. But the way I want to make the design is that the design would be on one side of the shirt. So it's going to be off-centered. And so it's going to be tall and off-centered. And so for this one, first of all, I want to ungroup my letters. How did I get them vertical? Okay, that's okay. Let me show you. You go to text, and then I'm going to move this over. Then I double click on it so I can type. In all caps, I type D, and then I hit the return key. Then I typed A, hit the return key, and then D, and I'm done. So I'm just hitting the return key. Okay, so this is still Arial Black because it defaulted to the last one that I used when I typed. But I want to go over here and ungroup these. So Cricut's gone through some changes, and I keep seeing a couple of videos that say Cricut moved it all back. So it looks similar to when I used to use it a lot. So hopefully I find everything fine. I'm going to ungroup those letters, and you can see over here they're ungrouped. If I click off of them and back on one, you can see they're ungrouped. So we're going to make these letters a lot larger than that. But before I get too concerned with the size of the letters, I want to move the letters closer together. So let's just pull the D down. I want them to where they're pretty close together. I'm going to move this D up. Oh, that's nice, the little red lines. And then let's go ahead and select all of them. And so that they're perfectly lined up, all of them are selected. We're going to go up to a line, and we're going to click right here. See the line? Okay, I think that's the right one. We'll see. We're going to click this horizontal, and they should, there we go. They barely move, but now they lined up so that the center of the D is in the same place as the center of the A and the center of this D. Okay, now this is a kid's shirt. So even though I want it to be a tall design, if it's on a kid's shirt, it depends on the age of the child. But I want to go ahead and make this quite a bit taller. 6.46. That's probably okay. Let me see if I have a child shirt over here. I have one somewhere, but I'm not sure. Not sure where it is. Okay, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I don't know where it is. I do not know where it is, but let's say it's an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old. I'm sure that this could be at least 7 inches tall. So let's go ahead. I have it at 7.13. How did you get the letter thick like that? Okay, so Fern, this letter is thick because of the font. It's called Arial Black. It's a font that I like to use for rhinestone words because it is nice and chunky. However, if you find a font that you love and you want to make it bulkier, you can use the offset feature to make it bulkier. But this font was already thick like that. Again, it's Arial Black. And you can ask whatever questions you want, Fern. It doesn't have to be your last question. All right, so we have the word dad. Now, let me go ahead and just group all that together for now. Now over on the side, going up and down, I want to put I heart my dad, or I heart my, and then dad would be over there. Now, because this one is for a child, I won't use a script font, but I won't use just super plain like this. When we do the shirt that I'm going to make for Tim, I'll use a script font. But because this is for a child, I won't. Hey, Mary Brown and April, welcome. So let's go ahead and hit text again. And I'm going to type I, and then I'm just going to space over a few times. I'm sure I'll have to change it in a little bit. And then I'm still in all caps. And now I want to change this to something that's kind of cute to offset the plainness of dad. So ask why it could be cute. This is the one I think I'll use, this Baimbo. And I'm sure I probably got this off of Creative Fabrica. Baimbo. But I'm going to put I and my. And then before I get concerned about the size of it, now I want to add a heart. So let's see. Let's go to shapes. And we have a heart right here. And so let's make that a little bit smaller. If you don't want the heart to look so harsh, you can offset it. So let me make this larger so you'll see. And then let's get rid of this. So sometimes, oops, let me get off of this. See, it's super pointy down there. If you want this to be a little more relaxed, what you can, hey Laura, what you can do is you can select it and you can go up to effects and offset, and then see this rounded offset. You can use the offset to kind of soften it. So I don't want my offset to be humongous, but I'll show you, even if I make that smaller, that'll be fine. I'm going to hit apply to get that offset. And then let me move that one out of the way. See how this one's a little more subtle with the tip versus super duper pointy? Whoops. I want this more subtle one. So now I'm just going to delete that. And then I'll get this to be about the same size as the letters. Okay. Now to get my close to it, I'm going to have to ungroup all that. So with I and my selected, let's hit ungroup. And then I click off of it. And then when I click back on, they are ungrouped. So let's just move this one over to the left. And I'm using the arrow on my keyboard just so I don't have to worry about, did I get it out of line? And then I have to, you know, use the align with the bottom function or something like that. And then let's kind of get this somewhat centered. Okay, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and put all these together. I'm just going to group them. This is the group and the ungroup. And let's see the whole screen. Okay, so I want to rotate this. Here's a rotate. And I can rotate it this way. If I want to, I can come in here and I can say rotate it 90 degrees. Well, I want the words to face the other side. So I need to go down to this negative, and there's 360 degrees all the way around, and 3/4 of that is 270 degrees. So I want to go this way until I get, I think 270, yeah, 270 degrees. I'm getting ads on my own video. All right, then we're going to put this over here and kind of get it to the size that I want it. I don't want it quite as tall as Dad. And we're going to change Dad. Let's change that a color. Let's see, you can click right here. And for now, I'm just going to change it purple. Okay. So let's have it overset a little bit, or overlap a little bit. I guess that's the right word. Let's see how wide this whole thing is. So it's only 3.62 wide. which is fine because, you know, I want it to be offset on the side of the shirt. I just want it to be on half of the shirt. So now what I want to do is I want to get the I love my centered from top to bottom of the word dad. So I'm going to go ahead and select both items, and I'll go to align. And now we're going to center them vertically. And if you watch what happens, you can see now the I heart my from top to bottom is in the center of dad. Okay, now, hi Elba. Even though they say it's okay to overlap HTV, I don't like to. I like, Kristen, you're here. I said I was going to ask, I'll ask it later, something when you came in. I don't like to overlap HTV. And so I want to do a knockout, but not just a knockout. I want to knock out an offset of I heart my. Now, if you don't know what that means, all that means is I want a slightly bulkier version of I heart my to slice out of dad. So with I heart my selected, we're going to go back to effects and we're going to find offset. And you can see that offset's really small. I want it to be noticeable that there's a gap between the I heart my and the word dad. So I'm going to pull this to the right, and that's probably good. If I want to see what it's going to look like, I can go to the color panel. Let's see, where's color on this? Where's color on this? Oh, okay. I guess I can do that in Silhouette, but not here. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And now I can change that to white. And so that's the size of the gap that I would have. I'm fine with that size of gap. So now I have 3 layers. I have a black layer, I have a white layer, and I have a purple layer. Oh, thank you, Investor. Thank you. I'll have my bell over here. It's over there, but thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. You don't like to overlap them either. I don't either, Elba. I just feel like it sticks to your shirt better when it's sticking directly to your shirt. Listening as I see this jelly roll tube. Okay, so what do you think that I should do to make room for that? What I should do, and I'm going to have a problem with this, and I want to see if anybody kind of, yes, I agree. Doesn't look as clean when you press them on top of each other. I'm going to have a problem with what I want to do. Let's see if somebody might know why. So I am selecting the offset, and I'm going to hold, I think it's command. Hold command down. I've added dad to it. Now I can't slice, and slice is what I want to do. Oh, thank you. And so did anybody see what I did or didn't do, why I can't slice it? Hey, Gail. Any Cricut people in the building that know what I need to do to fix it where I can slice that? And there is a delay. And so I'm just going to sit here and quiet. Okay, because it is grouped. Because it's grouped instead of combined. So grouping just kind of helps you in the design. Combining helps you, it kind of makes it one unit. And you can only slice using 2 objects. And so my offset is 1 object, but my dad is 3 objects that are grouped. And so what I have to do is I have to take dad and I have to combine them. Now, there's different options in combine. The old option was weld. I never use weld. I just don't. Combining does the same thing and it's undoable. Weld, the only way you can undo it is to go back, 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 back until it's undone. Well, if you're in the middle of a design and you're like, oh, I wish I would have made that a little larger, and you've welded things, then you have to go back, 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 and you lose everything else that you did. So I just never use weld anymore. I'm going to use Unite. And you can even see the picture looks, like weld. So now that it's united, it's one object. So let's go back and select the white layer. I think I have the white layer. Hold the command down, add dad to it. Uh-oh. Let me get this out of here. Okay, there we go. I must have been on this. Yes, I was on that instead of the white layer, because the white layer is just one object. Okay, so now that the white layer is one object and dad is one object, now I can slice. And so I'm just getting rid of all the slice results. All three of them. There we go. And then you can put this back in place. And you don't even have to move this out of the way. I could have selected over here the white layer, or I could have tried again to get the white layer. But now we have, I want these to be one thing too. So I'm going to unite those as well. So now we have what could go on the side of a shirt. Let me just stop sharing for a minute. So for anybody that wasn't here earlier, what I'm doing tonight is I'm making designs, and I saw this idea in Creative Fabrica. But I'm making designs that go down half of your shirt. So they're not centered. It's not a skinny design in the center. It is offset to one side or the other. And so anyway, this is one of the things. Now we're going to start making, this is, yes, Cricut Design Space, Evelyn, the free version. I'll do the paid version. Okay. Hey, Shay Shay. Okay, so let me go back here and go back to Cricut. And here it is. I heart my dad. Now here's the deal. If you would want the heart, let's say you'd want, let's just undo Unite. See, you can undo Unite. Let's undo Unite. And let's make this. Now let's ungroup. Now let's make the heart red. Oh, wait, that's too bright. Let's go with this red. And then my and I, it doesn't matter what color you use. Let's just go with blue. Darker, nope, that's not darker blue. Okay, darker blue. And then we'll go with, it really doesn't matter. I don't know why I care so much. Let's do that one black. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and select all of that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and attach these three, the I and my. What attaching does is it makes it, when you cut, it stays spaced out like this, because I don't have my machine attached. But if I were to hit make now, the I and the M and the Y would be all smushed together. So by attaching the I, the M, and the Y, when I was going to hit make, they would stay spaced out like this. Now, some people don't like that because you're wasting a little bit of HTV that's in here. But that way you don't have to worry about placing them correctly in the word dad. So we have dad, we have a heart, and we have I and my. So I just like to group things. I don't know why. And then I'm going to save this. And so I'll put this, you can change the sizes. It's HTV, so it really doesn't matter. But I'll go ahead and save this. And I have to remember how to save in Cricut. Okay. Uh-oh, how do I save? Oh, you know what? I cannot save this as an SVG. That really stinks. Okay. So I'm going to hold on to it now, and I'm going to go super speedy through it in Silhouette Studio where I can save it as an SVG, because I'm going to go ahead and put the things that I make tonight in a members post. All righty. Oh, thanks, Patrice. She said, remember to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and minimize this, and then let's go ahead and bring up Silhouette Studio. We're going to do the exact same concept in Silhouette Studio now. Hey, Lena. Now, I have the business version. The business version is the only Silhouette Studio that allows you to save your designs as SVGs. That's important to me, because when I do a rhinestone template, if I want to cut it on a different machine, which I do, I cut on my Romeo for rhinestone templates. That's the only thing I use Romeo for. I want to be able to save it as an SVG. If you want to make designs and sell designs to other people, rhinestone templates, you're going to need to be able to save it as an SVG. So I have the business edition, and the version I'm using is this 5. Okay, so we are going to hit design, and we're going to go through that just quickly. So I'm going to type dad. I have to click off of it, and I always like to add a color to it so I can see it. Then, like I said, we're going to go fast on this one because we went through it already. But if you want to watch on Silhouette Studio, I'll be doing a second one. And, you know, if you want to follow it, you could also go back and do the replay. All right, so now I want to ungroup these. Now I got to think about my, why can't I remember how to ungroup? Object. After being in Cricut, I couldn't remember. Okay, let's move this down. Let's move this up. Let's go ahead and go up here to align those. So I want to align them in the center. And then second of all, I want to distribute them vertically. What that means is you have the same distance from the middle of the A to the middle of the D as you have middle of the A to the middle of the D down here, or the blank space. I'm not sure how it calculates it, but it comes out to be the same thing if your items are the same height. All right, let's make this larger. I think we went up to a little over 7 inches. Whoops, that's already over 7 inches. Again, it's HTV, so you can make it any size you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and group those. Then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to type I, put some spaces, my. Let's add a color to that. Whoops. Got to click off and back on. Then we're going to add a color, and we're going to go back down and find Bamba. Bambo. And then let's make that larger. Okay, now we want a heart. So I'm going to go to Flexi Shapes and get a heart. And here you just have to drag your cursor to the size you want it. So we're going to guess. Now, if I try to do anything else right now, it's just going to draw another one. Let me delete that. So I have to go back to the select tool to get out of that. All right, let's select it, and we're going to make it red eventually anyway, so let's make it red. And remember before, I didn't like such a drastic point. I still don't want that drastic point. So I am going to select it. And I'm going to go over here to this little star where you see, you know, an inside and an outside. And I'm going to click on offset. And then I'm just going to drag this. Oh, I have to click on the left side of the offset because I'm doing an external. And then I'm going to drag this to where I want it. And all I want is it to be a little relaxed. So I think that looks fine. I'll click on apply. and then I have to change it a color. Let me show you though. They're two separate things. So I have to get rid of this. And here's my more relaxed heart. Okay, so let's make this a little smaller. It doesn't have to be exactly the height of the letters, but I want it to be somewhat close. That looks fine. We're going to go ahead and ungroup those. And then I'm going to select my M. Hold down, I think it is a shift key in Silhouette, yes. And then I'll just move those over. I can either use my arrow key or I can do it the faster way like that. Okay, so let me select the I plus these two. And then I want to align it so that, not that the top is aligned, because then the M and the Y are too short, but instead, let's align it in the center so that you have a little extra space here and a little extra space down there. And if you wanted to, you can make them larger so that they're the same height as the eye. But now I need to go back and align them again. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and group all that together. And then obviously, whoa, I didn't have the heart in there. Let's select everything and group it. Okay, so now I want to rotate this. I can just grab this and turn it. And then let's make this larger. And I'm only redoing this so that I can put this in the Members tab. Okay, so the next thing we did is we aligned the I Heart My, so it's from the top of the bottom to the bottom of Dad. It's in the center. So this is called middle. There we go. Then we're going to take an offset of I Heart My. We're going back over here to this offset panel, clicking on this left offset, and let's make this larger so we can see how big the offset is. Oh, got to click on the left side again. Okay, now I have two offsets going, but I can get rid of one of them. I think that'll be fine. Now, what I was saying earlier is on this one, you can go to the colors and you can see, do I like that amount of offset? Let's do a tiny bit less. And let me get rid of this other offset. The reason I want to do, I'll get rid of it in a minute. The reason I want to do a tiny bit less is, let me show you. I don't like how the offset goes towards almost cutting this A in two. So let's take that down just a little bit and let's see how that looks. Okay, I think that looks fine. So now I need to find my white offset and subtract it. What do I have a hold of here? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. All I want to do is I want to select my white offset. So there is a way where you can select all of one color in Silhouette Studio. And to do that, and this is really nice to learn. I learned this from Patrice. You go up to Panels, Select by Color. We want to select by the fill color. So black, pink, purple, or white. Here's white. So now I know I have the white selected. Now, I don't know if I have to group it, but we're going to group it. And then we're going to hold the Shift key down to add the word Dad to it. And then you go right up here to Object, Modify, and Subtract. And I still have that old offset. that I said I was going to have to get rid of. So I'm just going to carefully, you know what? I'll bet it's this one. No color. That has to be that offset. Let's delete it. Okay. So we're rid of that offset that I didn't use. It was only there because I didn't like it and I didn't get rid of it immediately. Okay, so I want, let's see. I'm going to ungroup these. What I'm going to do is just select, there we go. Everything that's pink is now a group. Purple is its own, and then black. Let's get the black all grouped together. Okay. So now I'm going to save this, and you would be able to put it any size you want. So if you want to make a shirt for a little child that they can wear on Father's Day or any day, you can do that. So I'm going to save it as an SVG, not in Sublimation Camp. Let's go to the desktop. Let's change it to SVG, and then Dad, I heart my. Okay, so I'll put this in a members post. Okay, so the shirt that we're going to make though for Tim. Thank you, Lena Doyle. It's going to be the same concept. So I'll go more slowly in silhouette this time. And what I want to know is some word to describe Dad. Now, I saw a really cute idea. They did father. So they did Father. Let me go ahead and add color to this. And then I'm going to change it. We're going to do Dad. But I thought this was really cute. So to get them where you want them, you're going to have to ungroup those. And let's move these down. And then, oopsie. Oh, get back up there, R. So let me just group these together, And then what they did is in place of the T, they put a cross. And so what you could do is, and if anybody wants this, I'll put it in the tab too. Let me see if that's about the right size. Whoops. Gotta go back to the select tool to move it. Okay, so that's a tiny bit too tall. And then I'm just going to duplicate it and rotate it. And then I'll make it not as wide. Get off there. And I want to unlock the proportions because I want it to stay, you know, thick, but I want it to be like that. So let's go ahead and let's see, center that. And then I'm going to go ahead and weld that together. Okay, so this is what they did is they had father, but for the T, they had a cross. And remember, I grouped the top ones, I grouped the bottom ones, and now these are grouped. So what I could do is I could line those all up so that they're all centered. Now, I would make this a whole lot taller. For a man shirt, I'd probably go up to close to 10 inches. And I think this one needs to go to the left a little bit. Something looks weird about that. Hey, Pamela. Thanks, Addie. All right, let's group these together. We're not going to make this shirt, but I'll show you what they did. So then they had Man of God. And so, man, whoops, I don't want all caps. let's use a different color. Let's use red. And then I want to use my favorite script font is Bastion. And there's 2 Bastions, so you kind of have to be careful. I don't want it to be so tall. But let's go ahead and rotate this, this way, and see the size of that. I need to learn to rotate in Silhouette by precise degrees. Okay, so Fern, earlier you asked me how I got something as bulky or thick as I did. And I really feel like some of these letters are really thin. So we're going to go ahead and use an offset to make this a little thicker. And you have to be careful because you can fill in the centers of some of these letters very quickly. But it is selected. Let's go to offset. And then we're going to click on this left side of offset. And you can see that there's very little space left in there, very little space left in here. So I'm going to delete that offset and do it again. Click offset, and now I can decrease the size here. So let's take this down quite a bit. Let's go with that. We'll click apply, and then see how they're all separate. I would go immediately up here and let's group those. And then let's turn them red. So I think that's much better. And what we do have to do is drag it out of the way. Okay, this is our thinner one. Let's just delete that. Okay, how tall are we? Okay, that's not too bad. So then you would put this in here, about like that. If you want to have it exactly in the center from top to bottom, let's select everything, go to Object, Align, and Align Middle. We don't want to line up at the top or the bottom. We want the middles to be aligned. So we'll click on it. Okay, so now we're going to do an offset of Man of God to knock out of Father. And so we're going back to the offset panel. We'll click on offset, and let's see. It's hard to see when this over here is black, but I can tell it's very small. Let's get that a little larger. I'm going to delete it because I don't know what I do wrong. We're going to click on offset. There we go. Now I can drag this, and that's probably a good offset there. It's probably going to chop this part of the T off, but that's okay. Let's put it in white and see what it looks like. Okay, I think that would look fine. Now my white offset is still selected, but they're all separate. You see there's a line going around the OD and the G, the OF are together, and then all these are together. I want all those offsets to be together. So I'm going to go to Object, Modify. Nope, let's group them. Okay. Is it possible that adjusting can be more precise if you hold Shift? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think so. Okay, so I have my offset selected. Now, do I hit Shift? I think it is Shift here. We're going to add Father to it. And now we're going to go to Object, Modify, and Subtract. Excellent. Okay. So here we are. Now, if you don't like the T because it's a lot taller than the H, we could always lop off some of this and some of that. What do you guys think? Do you think the T should be the same height as the H? Or do you think the T should be the way it is now? What do you think? Hey, Eva Marie, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Diane. And this isn't the shirt I'm going to make, but I'll go ahead and put this one in the members post too. But let me know, do you think I should make the T shorter here and shorter here so it's the same height as the H? Or does it look better standing up like that? Now I can see one thing. I don't know that I would, ew, I don't like how wide that is. That looks terrible. How'd that happen? How did that happen? Let's go back. I don't like that. I'm probably gonna have to just make that over. Well, no, I could move the nodes. Stacy, if you're here, don't. I know you don't like nodes. Yes, I agree, Elba. I don't know what in the world happened there. I don't know what I did. I failed to watch. Okay, the cross is not the same as the other letters, needs adjustment. Yes. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, let's see if I can just do it with the nodes. Okay, so I'm going to hold the shift key down and select all these nodes. And let's move those up. Now I could make it a little wider because it's not as wide as the H. So let's make it a little wider. Well, first of all, let's leave that part alone. Let's see what happens if we make it wider. So we're going to hold the shift key down. We're going to select all these nodes that I need to move to the left. And I'm going to count because I want to do the other side the same number. So let's go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do the shift key and get all these nodes and do those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's closer. They're still not the same. Hey, Catherine, welcome. Freaking out nodes, yes. Okay, I am going to hold the shift key down and select these nodes and go up a little bit. Okay, that is better. Now here's the other issue. Should we bring the height of this down so it's the same height as that? I feel like we should. Let's go ahead and do that. So I selected both nodes. I'm just going to bring it down till it looks, that looks pretty darn close. Let's take these nodes and let's go up with those. Okay. Now let's take a look at it again. Now I feel like the E and the R are further away. So that white thing you see is just an offset. So it's not a big deal. I can move this up. And I think that's a better place. So let me go ahead and group all this stuff together and group all this stuff together. Now let me see if I'm right. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to get that in the center from top to bottom again. And now we can, let's see. Gail, what happened? Oh. Okay, so now we're going to knock out the white out of Father. So let's go back up to panels, say select by color, go over to the fill side. We're selecting the white. Looks like it's already grouped together. Okay, hold on. I might not have ungrouped those yet. Yeah, let's ungroup those. Okay, so we're going to select the white fill and the black, and we are going to subtract. Excellent. So now let's put all the black together, because notice Now it's in a lot of different parts and pieces. So we're going to select all the black and we're going to group that. All right, so if I pull this away, good. And then if I pull this away, it pulled everything away. And if you wanted to, you could always get rid of this little corner piece here. Or just when you're weeding, don't worry about it. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so let's say save as. Okay, so I will put this one in. Wait. That's probably from playing around earlier. Man of God 2. Okay, so I'll put that one in the members tab or members post as well. Okay, so what I want to do to make this shirt is I want to put dad. And then I need a word over here to describe dad. So it could be blessed dad. It could be persistent dad. It could be reliable dad. It could be faithful dad. I kind of like that one. Faithful to his family, faithful to God. But what's a word that you guys like with dad? What is a word that you think would be good for dad? Now, remember, I'm going to go down to Arial Black and I'm going to change it to Arial Black. And I'm going to put color with it. And then let's go ahead and ungroup it so I can move those together. Hi, Michael. So I want these really close together. Now, if you wanted to, you could also do an offset and have an outline around the word dad, but I really feel like with the word that's over here that gets taken out of dad, I don't feel that's really necessary. Okay, so let's go ahead and line these up in the center. There we go. And then let's make them larger. He's a tall guy. He's going to wear kind of a long shirt. And so his could easily be 10 inches. Fix it, Dad. That's good. Best dad. Oh. Hey, Cheeks family. Cheeks family. Best dad ever. Which I guess you'd put best over here and ever over here. What did I say? Faithful. I really like faithful dad. I might go with faithful dad. Dependable dad. That's a good one. Okay, let me measure because I want this to be a good size. I don't want a little wimpy design. I want it to be a good size design. Oh, easily 10 inches. Probably 11 inches would be fine. So we're going to go for between 10 and 11 inches. Hey, Penny, loving dad. That's good. That is a good one, too. There, I'm at about 10.5 inches. Debonair dad, that's good. Oh, okay. So let's group these. Okay, we're not quite. We're a little over 3.5 inches wide. So that's probably a good size. 3.5 wide. Yeah, that's a good size. It could be a little wider. Let's go a little bit wider. Just a little bit. Oh, Elba, I am so sorry. But he was always the best dad ever. Oh. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and use what I think Tim is so faithful to the family. He's faithful. So that's just kind of what spoke to me. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click here. Oh, that's good too. Honorary dad or What's bonus dad, bonus kid. And honestly, if they're a father figure, I don't know how I'd word that. If I'd want to even call out that it's something other than dad, because, dad doesn't necessarily mean bio, but whatever a person's comfortable with. Okay, so I'm doing faithful, and we're doing this just like we've done the other things. We're going to make it larger. We're going to change it to a different color. Notice I did it in all small letters. I kind of like that too. The reason I did man of God is because I was going to capitalize God, and so I wanted to capitalize man to kind of help offset that. But with this word, I'm just going to leave them all lowercase. I like that look. And so I'm going to go back to Bastion. Right there. And we're going to make it shorter because that's 11 inches. I want it less than the height of dad, and the dad was 9.5, so, or 10.5. So here's less than 10. Let's see how that looks. And then let's make it a little shorter also. Because like I said, I want it to be on half of the shirt. I don't want it to extend all the way to the other side. Okay. Super Dad. Now, does anybody know how to rotate something? Let's see. There it is. Rotate. We want to go counterclockwise 90 degrees. There we go. I knew how to do it. I just couldn't think a little bit ago. Ooh, I like how this is really going to go into dad. Okay, so we are going to center faithful between the top of dad and the bottom of dad. So I have both of them selected. We're going to object, align, and then we're going to say align middle. Okay, I think faithful's too tall this way. Let's go like this. It's overlapping too much. I thought I liked it, but it was too much. Let's see how wide this whole thing is. Okay, 6.5 inches. I think that's still okay. Yep, that's still going to be fine. Now, do I want to do a slight offset? Your dad was an easy dad. My dad gave us lectures, not fun ones. I learned to stare at his lips while I checked out. When his lips stopped, I said, okay, and ran off to finish playing. My dad would ask me, do you want your spanking now or before bedtime? And I'd always say, before bedtime. And then he never remembered. I don't think he really wanted to spank me anyway. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I just want to make faithful a little bit smaller. Okay. So now I have to realign that. There we go. I want to move it up a tiny bit. And then I'm going to do an offset to make it, I want the word faithful to be thicker. So we're going to do offset a couple times. So the first time we're doing an offset is just to have faithful be thicker. Because with this being a cut file, why do I always mess that up? So I click on it, I hit offset. Now let's make it less of an offset. Let's see how that looks. Let's turn it red so all we see is red. I think that's a little too thick. I don't like it. So let's go. Come back. Okay. Let me group the dot on the I with it. Okay, we're going to offset it again, but not quite as thick. Or is that my offset? I'm confused. I'm just going back. Let me just delete the offset from there. Okay. Yes, that was my offset. Okay. So we have faithful. We're going to make an offset, but not quite as big as last time. Let's go down to 0.02. Whoops. Okay. Hit apply. And then I'm going to go ahead and group it together. And I'm going to turn a different color so I don't get confused. All right. So let's get rid of the thinner one. And now that's what I want. Let's see. I'm about to finally pick up the blanket I was knitting back in February. Need to finish it before the grandbaby comes in September. Aw. Let's see. Eva Marie says he would always give instructions twice, putting the inflection on the word he wanted you to hear. Like, it needs to be done now. He adopted me. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we're making this offset to knock out of the word dad. So I've selected faithful, and we're going to click on offset, and I'm going to make it larger. And I feel like that would be a good size. So let's click apply. My offset is still selected. So I'm going to hold down shift, add dad to it, and then go to object, modify, and subtract. Excellent. Okay. All right. So that's our design. Let me see. Is everything here grouped? Yes. Now let's select all the black pieces and group those. So I'm going to go to panels, select by color, come to the fill side, select the black, and say object and group. All right, that's the shirt I am finally making after an hour and 13 minutes. The number of blankets I finished, whoops, I can't see the rest, with the number of blankets I finished with a deadline. Yes, yes, the rhinestone cut file is in the camp. And I emailed you again today, Stacy, because the first email I sent you wasn't quite right. Okay, so let's save this. And I'm going to save it Dad Faithful as an SVG. Okay. Now, I don't love the colors I'm going to have to use with my heat transfer vinyl, but it's what I had, and I don't love the color of the shirt. So if you don't like the colors, just pretend like you do. Let me go ahead and get it open in Cricut. Let's see. Cindy says, my dad ate green eggs and ham because that was a nighttime story my mom read the evening before. I have a very happy childhood. There was 6 of you, 6 kids. There was 6 in my family, but 4 kids. Oh, Stacy, they don't have it in there? It might be in the more about me. It might be on my website. I'll look and see, Stacy. I can always email it to you. All right. So we are not cutting that one. I saved it. So it's, oh, no, I didn't save this one because I couldn't save it as an SVG. So let's say new, and then let's say start designing. And let me remember how to do this. Upload. Upload image. We're going to browse. There's my desktop. So it was, there's the other father that I did earlier today when I was playing. Okay, Dad Faithful. Now as an SVG, you don't need to do anything here. You can just say continue. It looks fuzzy, but it won't be fuzzy when it gets there. And then upload. And look at how tiny that is. Tiny. Okay, we had it at 10.5 inches tall, I believe. Let me get rid of this side. Size. Ooh, I don't want a 14. Let's go 10.5. Okay. So let me go ahead and connect my Cricut. He had a continuous laugh, gave big hugs, always let us know he loved us. That's nice. Good childhood memories. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, let me go ahead and start this cutting so you can see that process. And then I'll quit sharing my screen so that I can talk to you better. All right. Okay, this goes here. Oh no. Oh no. Will you fit? Yeah, you fit. Okay. Let's turn you on. So I'm going to cut Dad out of Black HTV. And I'm cutting Faithful out of, this is called tungsten. So it's like a gunmetal. So they're not going to be as different in colors as these two are. But this isn't a bright blue shirt, so we kind of had to tone down the colors. All right, so I have my Cricut on. Does it recognize my Cricut? It says Maker there, so let's see. Make. Oh, remember earlier when I said they have to be attached or they're going to cut weird? Okay, let's ungroup this. And then let's look at it again. All those were grouped. And in Cricut, things have to be attached for them to cut the way you see them. So we're going to take Dad and we're going to click Attach. Now I feel like Faithful's going to have the same problem because that dot over the eye was just grouped. So let's click on Faithful. Let's look and see what would happen with Faithful. Would it have an eye? See, the dot over the eye is missing. So I need to take Faithful and click Attach. Now I can click on Make. Okay. So let me go ahead and move it away from the side just a little bit. And I'm going to move it down a little bit. And we will get our HTV ready. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Okay. All righty. So with this, let me see, where's Cricut at? Was it mirrored? No, it's not mirrored. So I'm going to have to click on Mirror My Design so it cuts out the right way. And then while I'm in here, I might as well mirror this one too. Okay, I can't see the chat because I'm working in here. There we go. All right, so let's just go ahead and I kind of like to just put the roll down on it instead of chopping your HTV up. I like to put the roll. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I also wanted to show you if we have time, not a big deal if we don't, but if you did Sublimation Camp and you're going to be doing the shirt I have on, I wanted to show you and talk to you how to get the SVG file so that you can change the color of your print file to match your rhinestone colors. Why? The twins are 2, turning 3. Wow. Have they made it past the terrible 2s? I think mine had the terrible 2s when they were about 18 months. But they kind of went out of it fairly quickly. Okay, let me check my blade, make sure it's fairly clean. That looks good. And then Let me add to the stage. No echoing, that's good. Okay. All right, let me get back into that. Gail, I forgot you were a twin. Okay, so we're going to click on continue, and I know you can't see this connected. It is connected. It is connected. Please. Please be good tonight. I would actually like to get, oh, okay, connected. I didn't think it was going to connect for a minute. Okay, I'm going to use the everyday iron-on setting, and it's ready for me to put it in. Now on this, I have this little piece that's flopping forward, so I want to tape that down so it doesn't get caught up and cause a mess. So let's just tape it right there. My mat is not the stickiest. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of tape at the other side. And hopefully this doesn't take too long to cut. I don't do a ton of HTV anymore, so I don't even know how long it's going to take. But let me get this kind of rolled up so it's manageable. And we are mirrored, so we can hit the C button. Go. There we go. Okay, so while that's cutting, I should just get another Cricut mat out. Hopefully this one's sticky enough. So this is already, it says 60% done. So never mind, I'm just going to wait for this one to come in. It's going to be fast enough. Let's see, Sharon. Do you get a list of who uses your link? I don't get a list per se, but I can go in and look at the various ones to see. Sometimes I do, but I also don't want people to feel bad if they're like, oh, I didn't use her link, so I don't, make a big deal of it. But I do want to email everybody that used it a file. Actually, I want everybody in Celebration Camp to get this file. So, okay. Let me see. Let's just cut off where it got cut. Hey, Brandy. Brandy, how was your ball game last night? You guys, Brandy is in Patrice's school. We have school every other Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays a month. Brandy is on the go. She's always going somewhere, but she's still in school. She's just in school on the go. Okay, hopefully I don't chop off something to cut. And then hopefully I don't waste too much either, especially if Dimps is still lurking. All right, we're just going to put that on the ground. Hey, Robin. All righty. Where's my weeding tool? Right here it is. Let's load up the other one, though. Load up the other one. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. It is cutting over there. Let's move it down a little bit. Oh, I can't move it down now. They won't let me move it down now. Okay. Okay, fine. I think that's the right one that's going to be cutting. I don't like it way up there at the top. I have not used this. This is a brand new roll of HTV. Now, I've had it for a while, but it's new to me. I haven't used it. So I'm kind of curious. It's, like I said, it's kind of a gray, kind of a gunmetal. I think it's going to be kind of shiny. I don't love shiny HTVs. I like more matte HTVs. But this word is so little. You know, it's so thin that I think even if it's shiny, it's not gonna bother. Okay, it's mirrored. We're good to go. Okay. So one thing about HTV is it usually weeds pretty easily. Now there's some little parts and pieces to this one, so I want to be a little bit careful. But that was a good cut setting. This is Hippo. It's called Anti-Easy HTV. I don't even think it's available anymore, but I do remember when I used it, I liked it. It was, you know, fairly thin. I don't like thick. What did I rip already? Did I rip some already? No. I don't really like thick HTVs either. All right, let's see. Geneva, it hasn't. Now, here's the deal with Sublimation Kit. This year, for the first time, what they did was, for anybody that bought the All Access Pass, I think they went ahead and gave them access to the videos. But, you know, as far as the Facebook group and all that, there's people already in the Facebook group. But if you do the free ticket, you get access to all the videos for 24 hours. So, like, it's 3 days. And so whatever videos are being played on the first day, you have access to those videos for 24 hours, all day. And then the second day, you have access to those videos during that 24-hour period. And then the third day, the same thing. Hopefully I'm doing this right. And so I don't remember I should remember the exact dates, but right now I'm thinking about this design and I don't remember the exact dates. I'll look it up here in a minute. Okay, that's weeding nicely. And I think that the box has the instructions as far as the heating and all that. Some HTVs that you get, the boxes don't tell you the instructions, which I hate. But I understand it's because they want to keep it on their website so people will go to the website. There we go. And look at new products. Or if they change the process, they want people to see the newest process from the website. Okay. All right. And I like to remove my mat instead of what I might have done last time. I feel like when you remove the mat and you hold your HTV down, that you don't get little crinkles in it. Okay, let's just set that back there and trim off. This one's easier to see where it cut. Black HTV is just hard to see where it cut because the little cut lines are also black. Like in this one, the little cut lines are black, but this is a gray, kind of a silvery gray. All right, we're done with you. Now, let's see. I'll do the dab first. And this says 285 to 305. Now, since I'm going to press it twice, I think I'll start with the lower temp. And it says 12 to 15 seconds. Mine's set on 15 seconds. So let me let that heat up. I'll go ahead and pre-press my shirt to remove moisture. And I might as well move this off my table and make some more room. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Okay. Thought I saw a flock dot on there for a minute. All right, let me move this off the table. I'm just going to put it on the floor here. And remember I said I was limited on the colors that would go with this and that would still look masculine. Because he's kind of a guy's guy. Let's see. Okay, Gail, I missed what you were saying. I missed it. Okay, so I want the words to be going to the inside. So this will have to go on the left side so that the words are right there. I know, Gail. Seems like there's constantly a flock dot invasion. Okay, so let's go ahead and pre-press this. It's only up to almost 200, but I think just for the pre-press, that's probably okay. I'll do it twice. And then meanwhile, while it's heating up, let's go ahead and weed this. And I think that's going to come together nicely. I think this would be pretty on a red shirt. Black and gray, or tungsten as it's called. I think that would be good on a black shirt. Or a black shirt with red and white. But I did not have a black shirt for him. I just had this goofy colored one that I wanted to use. I have some Bella Canvas ones for him. But since this is kind of a theme shirt and Bella Canvases are expensive to me versus $2.99 for Gildan, we're going with the weird color instead of the cool Bella Canvas colors. Hey, Jess. Thank you. Jess, I'm going to show in a few minutes when I get this pressed. I'm going to show how to use the SVG file. I know you know it because you already done it. You had good color matching. I liked it. But I'm going to show how to use it. And we'll talk about the file sizes of the bling file versus the file size of the sublimation file because they are going to be slightly different sizes. Okay. And anyone is interested in Sublimation Camp, I have my links below. There's an all access, which gives you access for like a year, and you're put in for a bunch of giveaways, versus the free one. You have access for 24 hours and you're still eligible for what they call they have different things. They have bonuses and giveaways. And one of those, and it says in the information that I sent out, one of those is available to everyone, and one of those is available to all access members. Okay. Faithful. That looks good. It weeded really nicely. Okay, so let's pre-press this one more time. And then let's move this and get the trash in the trash can. Okay. All right, so make this a different size. And there's really nothing to look at anymore, so I might as well remove that one. Okay, so with this shirt, the theory is that it's over on the side. So it's not going down the middle, it's over on the side. And so with the word dad, I want the faithful to be to the inside. I don't want it over here with faithful over here. I want it to be over here. So let me go ahead and figure out where I want that to be. Try to get it straight. And I don't think 11.5, no, I did 10.5 inches. I don't think that was too big at all. And I want it to be far enough in the front that you see it. You know, I don't want it wrapped around the side, but it should be okay to go over a little bit more. And we want it to be fairly straight, but we're not going to freak out if it's not straight. Then let me just take a look and see where faithful. Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. That's what I was going for. I can move it a little bit more toward the center. There's plenty of room. I only wanted it to show up on one half of the shirt. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's straight. It's straight enough. Straight enough. All right. Okay, so 285. I'm going at the lower limit, or what they suggest for this HTV, because I'm going to be pressing it again. So going 285 for 15 seconds. Again, this is an HTV remote, and it's called Easy Angie Easy, and I don't think it's available anymore. I really don't. It might be, but I don't know. And I think it said it's a cold peel. Yes, it's a cold peel. So let's just let that cool off, and I'll look for the instructions on the other one. And the other one is, whoopsie, a Caesar product. And they don't usually put all the, jeez Louise, Marilyn. They don't put all the instructions on theirs. It says press firmly for 10 seconds. But it doesn't tell me the heat that I'm supposed to be using. So let me see. It's the EasyWeed Electric HTV. So let me do a quick search. How to press Caesar EasyWeed Electric HTV. Okay, so their AI, Google's AI says 305 for 10 to 15 seconds with medium to firm pressure. It does say it's hot or cold, but because this one is cold, I don't want to put heat to this one again and then immediately pull the liner off. So I'll take this up to 305. You guys hear my tummy rumbling? Yep. My tummy's rumbling. All right, 305. We'll let that heat up. Now, I didn't do this at the full temperature, so hopefully it comes off okay. If it starts to lift, I'll just put it back under. But it's looking good. Oh, let me get rid of those instructions and get rid of that and see what you guys are saying. Hey, Veronica, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Rondrea. And then be sure tonight and check the members post. If you're interested in any of the designs that I made tonight, they'll be in a members post. Now, should I have had this a little bit more to the side? Let me pick up these mats that fell off. Or at least move them to the side. I think that's a fine place for it. So there's what we have so far. And then we'll have the word faithful added to that. And this time we're pressing 305 and we're doing 15 seconds. Now my heat press has a Teflon sheet that I have on it. So I'm not going to worry about putting a Teflon sheet over this. Typically, if I have exposed HTV, I'm probably going to put a Teflon sheet on it. But since mine has a built-in Teflon sheet that I added it to it, I'm not going to worry about it. I like this. This is going to be cute. Cute, cute, cute. Don't fall over anything, Marilyn. I like it. Now, hopefully this HTV cooperates with it because it's old. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take that off. I do want to show you if you're part of Sublimation Camp and you get the file, or let's say you didn't do Sublimation. Oh no! Why did you stick? I have Teflon up there. Oh no! Okay. Well, it came off. Okay, it didn't ruin it. What the heck? I have a Teflon thing on there. It still did it. So when I'll press it again in a minute, because here's what's going to happen is where this carrier sheet is over part of Dad, it's going to leave an indentation. So we're going to need to press it again. I don't know why it did that. Anyway, I'll show you how you use the sublimation file with the bling file, kind of how they go together. That way, if you do Sublimation Camp and you get the bling file, you'll understand, or eventually I'll put the file. I don't want to put it in my shop now because people that are part of Sublimation Camp get it at no extra cost. Oh, that's true, Patrice. I never even thought of that. Okay, feels like this should come off. Let's go. Okay. Okay, it's coming off the black part too. Let's see. Okay, good. That came off. I saw a little white, but it came off. I don't know what it was. Okay. Okay. It worked. And there's a little indentation in the middle of Dad, so I'll do another press. This time I'm going to use parchment paper. But look at that. Isn't that cute? I could have had it. Well, he's big. He's wide. So he'll have a lot of chest room to the side of it. That is cute. I like it, but I think I could have had it this way a little bit. All right. So let's do one more press. We'll look at this file on the computer and then we'll be done. Now, I feel like I can just do this for about 5 to 10 seconds. I don't need the whole 15. Let me flip this over. It looks like it wants to roll up. All right. I am so glad that didn't ruin my shirt. I thought that was going to ruin the shirt when it did that. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. I can still see a little bit of a mark where the carrier sheet for Faithful was on top of Dad, but it's not bad. I like it. It's cute. I like it. I like it, like it, like it. The colors aren't even that bad. They're not even that bad. I don't like that the glare of the camera makes it where you can barely see Faithful, because I can see it better than you can. But there it is. All right, so I think that's the 3 designs we did tonight. I'll go ahead and put those in the members post. Now let me show you. Thank you. Thanks, Monique. Oh, Kristen. So I eat a ham sandwich a lot. And ham comes in this. Lunch meats come in these. I took the top off. I have so many of these and I don't want to throw them away. I rarely go to the recycling place because it's not in town. What would you store in these? Now, Nicole of Precious Pieces said bobbins, and I like that idea. But what specifically are some things you would store in here? And we need to make them cute. So somebody said add fabric to them, or the wallpaper stuff at the Dollar Tree. But if you have any ideas, let me know. Let me know. Okay. Let me think. Okay. Okay, so let's just go into Silhouette because I was playing in this today, and so I can just open recent stuff and we'll be able to see it. Where are you, Silhouette? Where are you? Is that you? Nope. That was what I read. There you are. Okay. Yeah, I think I did save this, didn't I? I want to make sure I saved it. I'm sure I did because I cut it with my Cricut, so I had to have. I see it up there. I see it. No, that was embroidery. Okay, here it is right here. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to go right here and let's go File, Open Recent. Here is the sublimation file as an SVG. Nope, that is the rhinestone file. Let's merge. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me bring him in. I'm going to stop. Oh, was I even sharing? I'm going to stop sharing for a second and go into my business file. Sublimation Camp. Sublimation Camp 2026. And here's the SVG. Okay. I don't even know if I ever shared. Hopefully. Oh, toiletry that's a good one for the homeless. That is a real good one. Scraps from the jelly rug. People did say fabric scraps. Yes. Oh. Maybe even zippers, different sizes of zippers. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen again. I thought I shared it. I don't know if I did or not. Okay, there it is. Here's this. Okay, so these are 2 separate files, but I just brought them both into Silhouette to show you how they work together. These are portraying the color rhinestones that I have on my shirt. And so the PNG file that you get in Sublimation Camp is a magenta, a light pink, and a black. And they match these rhinestones. But I have it as an SVG, and so let's put this to the back. And I want you to see how they line up. Okay, so let's move up. Oops, wrong file. Let's move that file down. And then let's move that file to the left a little bit. And you can see that they, you know, the rhinestones line up. So you have a row of rhinestones for the outline. And Jess, if you're on here, this purple part under here is what was missing. Well, in yours it was black. And so I fixed it and I emailed that to you. But you have rhinestones, but now the rhinestones and the back colors don't match. And so what I would do if you know, get all this stuff is I'll go to this file and I would ungroup it. Now I have this top word separate from the bottom word just in case you want to do different colors of rhinestones for the top and the bottom. So if I were changing this to match my stones, I would select that. That's the outline. And I would go to the color palette and I would change it. Let's just change it this color. We can do this color, but the rhinestones are going to disappear on it. You're not going to see them because it's the exact same. I use the same software. Let's do this outline. Let's do the same thing. We'll make it kind of transparent so you can see. Let's do this one and make it just a light pink. Whatever color you need to make it. We'll do a light pink. And then my I think it was black. So let's not use black because the rhinestones won't show up. You won't be able to see them, which is a good thing if you're making it, but to show you isn't a good thing. So then I would go ahead and I'd group all this back together and I would print it. And it is sublimation, so you would print it in the mirror image. But then your rhinestones and your print file match. You want your print file to be very close to the color of the rhinestones because the print file is just giving you the color for behind your rhinestones. And so that's what you would do. The PNG print file is in Sublimation Camp because they wanted a PNG file. And so this is an SVG file. And so anybody that needs the SVG file, so in Sublimation Camp, there's a link with my tutorial that says more about me or something like that. I'm going to add the SVG file to that more about me page. So you would have access to it there. But if you have questions, let me know. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show you there. And I think that's it. But yeah, you can see on the shirt how it's not just white behind it. It's the file that I just showed you with light pink, magenta, and then black behind that. And that, you know, kind of helps them stand out. But you still see the bling. All righty. So anyway, if you are sewing together your quilt blocks with Patrice and I Saturday night, 5 p.m. Central Time, if you would please have them cut down. I still have to cut down my fabric. I've already cut down my stabilizer for the most part and my batting. And so I'll be cutting these down per the instructions. So read the instructions to see how you cut them down. And then we'll be sewing them together. I thought there would be binding around it. There's no binding around it. You just have fabric on the back. You put them face to face. You sew almost all the way around. You flip them out. First, you have to sew them together, though. So I think it's still going to be, you know, we'll still be on there probably a couple hours. But I have sent everyone that sent me an email said they are participating in it. I've sent you the Zoom link. And so if I've missed anyone, if you completed your blocks and you're going to be doing this with us Saturday night, send me an email, Marilyn at makingwithmarilyn. No, makingwithmarilyn@gmail.com. Makingwithmarilyn@gmail.com. And I'll send you the link. And then I'll probably send one more, probably tomorrow, to everybody that's signed up for it. And you'll have the link there. You're not registering through Zoom. You're just going to go to that link at 5 o'clock Saturday Central Time and join in. So I hope to see you there. Check out the members post tonight. I'll have 3 designs in there in case you need a last minute Father's Day thing. And I think that's it. Now, Dem's Designs has a conflict for tomorrow and the following Friday. And so she won't be on, and then she'll be back after that. I don't know if Patrice is going on tomorrow night. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Time will tell. But I'm sure I'll see you around sometime this weekend. Thank you, Dee. Thank you. All right. If there's no more questions, let's see. I absolutely love that faithful dancer. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Finally working on some of the Etsy templates I purchased a long time ago. Good, Addie. Yeah, that is a good idea. Some toiletry kits for the homeless, especially around the holidays. That's a great idea. Love that. All right. I will see you guys next Thursday, if not before. Until then, bye-bye.